Sa himpilan ng bawat Pilipino, ang TriMEDIA. Nako, summer na, tsaka medyo mainit na talaga sa labas, ano. Hindi ko makakasama ang aking katandem na si Peter Serrano this morning. At dahil nagbabakasyon na naman siya, hindi, nasa Marinduque si Peter. And then, syempre, meron po tayong co-anchor for this morning. At medyo maganda po at mahaba-haba yung ating mapapag-usapan today. But excited ako dahil sa ating mga guest this Saturday. Papakilala ko na. Second time yun na rito. Si Rocky Gonzalez. Kaki Rocky.
Hello, good morning. This is Rocky Gonzalez. Ako po ang guest anchor ni Miss Vivian. Thank you for having me back.
Ay nako, thank you. Nakita ko yung sa Facebook, nagpasalamat sa'yo si Peter.
Oo nga eh. Peter, we miss you.
Okay, and then of course our special guest, si Attorney Tom Berger. Ayan, hindi ko maano talaga yung kanyang last name.
It's Berenguer.
Berenguer, ayan.
Good morning to everybody, sa lahat ng tagapagpakinig ng show ni Ma'am Vivian. Thank you for having me, guys.
Oo. Yung mic lang natin. So, yan. Okay. So, alam nyo, pag-uusapan po natin ang revolutionary government. Medyo marami po kasing lately, no, sa mga nag-ikot-ikot na rin po tayo kasi at marami po talaga nagtatanong kung ano ba talaga ito. So ngayon, we will try to explain, scratch the surface a little bit, no, kung ano talaga ang revolutionary government at bakit natin pinag-uusapan yan ngayon. Nung last, si Rocky, you were not there, no? Pero si Tom, I think you were at the Luneta.
Yes.
Nandun ka sa Luneta nun. Okay. Dun sa Palit-Bise na rally na nangyari noon last, that was April 1. April 2. That was April 2. Andun din po tayo, naging guest speaker po tayo that day. At napag-usapan namin ang RevGov. Sasabihin na natin RevGov. Actually, it was spur of the moment kasi ang dapat pinag-uusapan kasi noon is Palit-Bise, which is the impeachment for Lenny, no? But then I asked the organizer and sabi ko, can we please start talking about revolutionary government? Ang sabi ko kasi it is, I think, the right time dahil it was a people initiative rally. Wala pong binigay na funding ang gobyerno doon. So it was the people who funded that rally. And so, sabi ko, I think it's really about time because of what's happening, yung impeachment ni Pangulong Duterte, at the same time, impeachment na sinusulong natin against Leni Robredo, at marami pang mga nangyayari, no, around us. Of course, number one would be the destabilization plot ng opposition. Ngayon, well, maybe you can start the question.
Tom, ito kasi parang marami talaga nagtatanong, nalilito ang mga tao. Before I ask him a question, i-modify ko lang ng konti yung term.
Sige.
Kasi marami nako-confused sa term na just revolutionary government. Ang naiisip kasi ng mga tao na parang ito na yung magiging gobyerno na papalit. Parang akala nila, meron tayo ngayon, biglang ipapalit, ito na, yun ang magiging gobyerno natin. So, ibabalik ko lang doon sa term na ginamit nung panahon ni Cory, which is an interim revolutionary government, which effectively means transitional lang siya.
Oo, actually, 1986 when they proclaimed revolutionary government, and then after a year, nagkaroon na tayo ng constitution.
Ng constitution, so democratic. Na according to Ricardo Lazo, from authoritarianism ni Marcos to a democracy na daw ni Cory.
Also, I want to add, ang revolutionary powers kasi is coterminus ng isang presidente. So, it's not transferable.
Yan.
Okay.
So, tanungin na natin si Tom. Tom, being a lawyer as well as part of the impeachment team ni Lenny,
yes.
Ano ba talaga ang interim revolutionary government?
Okay. To start off, let's put the term revolutionary government in the proper context. Okay. Now, the concept of a revolutionary government in this time, in this modern era, was talked about during the campaign last year. When then Mayor Duterte said that, you know, in one of his speeches, if I recall, I don't recall the exact terminology, but he said, I can declare a revolutionary government just like Cory. So let's take it in that context, like Cory. Okay. Now, what did Cory do when she declared the revolutionary government? Okay, let's take a step back in 1986. There was a people power revolution. Okay, that was the direct action by the people to overthrow the present government of Ferdinand Marcos.
Yes.
So now, in order to smoothen and hasten the transition to full democracy, Cory promulgated Proclamation Number 3. Okay. But take note, the Proclamation Number 3 never talks about revolutionary government. Okay, the Proclamation Number 3, the title is, I have it here. Okay, the title is Declaring a National Policy to Implement Reforms Mandated by the People Protecting Their Basic Rights. Okay, number 1, basic rights, adopting a provisional constitution, number 2, and providing for an orderly transition to a government under a new constitution.
Taga lang para lang maging klaro sa mga nakikinig. Itong in layman's term, kasi of course si Tom, you know, lawyer po yan.
Okay.
Ang Proclamation Number 3 is a provisional, hindi pa po ito yung 1987 Constitution. No? Provisional Constitution, actually popularly known as the Freedom Constitution.
Yes, pero ang ganito yung tanong doon So when she took over, actually, hindi niya muna dineclare as a revolutionary government. So,
de facto president lang siya.
De facto president lang siya. Okay, so, at that time, I think, somebody advised her to make it a revolutionary government because otherwise, other countries, international countries, will not recognize her government.
Tama.
Yes.
Hindi ba?
Well,
because walang legal basis.
Correct. There was a cloud, there was a cloud of doubt. May pagdududa
Yes.
sa pagiging pangulo niya.
Yes.
So,
because she didn't win. Dahil lang talagang nanalo nun was actually President Marcos.
Who was proclaimed by the batasan at the legislature.
Yes.
Parang sa atin ngayon, di ba, Kongreso ang nagpoproklama sa Pangulo at saka pangalawang Pangulo. Nung panahon na yon, yung batasan.
Yes.
Okay? She was not proclaimed by the batasan.
Exactly.
Okay? It was Ferdinand Marcos. Hanggat, balikan natin yung kasaysayan natin, di ba? Minister Enrile, General Ramos, kumalas sa gobyerno ni Marcos.
There was a military component.
Inabi ni Minister Enrile noon na nandaya siya para kay Ferdinand Marcos para dayain si Mrs. Aquino at sinabi ni Minister Enrile naniniwala daw siya sa puso niya na si Mrs. Aquino ang talagang nanalo. And the rest was history.
Yes.
Diba? 4 days at EDSA, umalis si Ferdinand Marcos. So, nung umupo si Mrs. Aquino, yun nga, Ma'am Vivian, di ba, tama kayo she was neither here nor there.
Yes.
Hindi mo alam,
Yes.
di ba?
Walang legal basis.
Wala siyang legal basis.
Tao,
That's what I was
diba,
saying.
ng militar, pero hindi naman siya pre-proclaim ng batasan.
So that's when she proclaimed herself a revolutionary
a
government.
revolutionary government.
Ganun yun.
Using as basis EDSA, the events of EDSA.
People power.
People
Kasi,
power.
people power is the highest form of expression in a democracy, di ba? So that's what she
lies
used.
within the
sovereign
people.
will of the people, di ba? So, undisputable naman yon. But then, now, when we talk about revolutionary powers, kasi, okay, the word revolution is the one that medyo ano rin ako ron Kasi yung revolution, when you talk about revolution, you're revolting. You're parang upheaval.
Gulo. In short, gulo.
But this is different because our president right now is having a high trust rate.
And happiness.
And happiness, And not only that, he won landslide. Landslide siya, panalo siya nung last election. So, he is a duly elected president. Okay, now, so we cannot call it talagang a revolution because we are not
at war.
At war. No, not only that, we're not taking him out.
Yes.
Okay, we are giving him more powers. That is the thing. We are giving him more powers. Now, what is revolutionary powers? Yan ang pag-usapan natin, Attorney Tom. What does it do to a president?
Okay,
okay, sandali lang, biglang naggano sa akin ng commercial break.
Okay.
Commercial break muna tayo. Thank you.
Ito ang DZRJ 810 AM, TriMEDIA, ang himpilan ng bawat Pilipino. Pag-asenso sa negosyo, pag-aralan at matutunan sa negosyo ni Karancho. Mga latest update sa merkado, mga kaalaman sa pagdinegosyo mula sa mga eksperto at maging job openings, alamin. Ihahatid sa inyo ng ating nag-iisang Karancho sa negosyo, Miguel Hill, sa negosyo ni Karancho. Negosyo ni Karancho. Tuwing Sabado, 1:00 hanggang 3:00 ng hapon at Linggo, 12:00 ng tanghali hanggang 1:30 ng hapon. Dito lang sa DZRJ 810 AM, TriMEDIA, ang himpilan ng bawat Pilipino. Makinig, makikanta at makijam kasama ang nag-iisang Percy Lapid. Muling balikan ang mga masasayang kanta kasama ang iba't ibang mga musikero na maghahatid sa inyo ng mga magagandang tugtugan at awitan na siguradong kukumpleto sa inyong gabi sa Live Jamming with Percy Lapid tuwing Linggo 11:00 ng gabi dito lang sa DZRJ 810 AM, TriMEDIA, ang himpilan ng bawat Pilipino.
This program is brought to you by TriMEDIA Pro Incorporated.
Ngayong Sabado, tiyak gaganda ang inyong umaga dahil may bago na tayong makakasama sa isang matalino at makabuluhang talakayan. Handog ng TriMEDIA. Makakasama at makakahuntahan na natin sa radio, TV at social media ang Miss Body Language ng Philippine movie industry. Si Miss Vivian Velez. Body Language! Live dito sa DZRJ 810 AM. Ang Double V sa DZRJ. Vivian Velez, the beauty and brain. Vivian Velez. Vivian Velez. Dito sa Double V.
Alright, it's 6:47. So yung hanging question natin kanina, Rocky, is really what is a revolutionary powers? Okay,
Yeah,
so what does it do? What can the president do with the revolutionary powers?
Okay. Well, revolutionary powers basically gives how should I say it? Uncontrolled powers to the president. Okay, it may sound, and I will agree for those who say that it sounds dangerous, it sounds unpalatable, but we also have to understand, given our history also, that Cory, when she proclaimed a revolutionary government, like I mentioned before, Proclamation number 3, okay, you have here, okay, what was the purpose of Proclamation number 3? Okay, it was for the complete reorganization of the government, restoration of democracy, protection of basic rights, rebuilding of confidence in the entire government system, eradication of graft and corruption, restoration of peace and order, maintenance of the supremacy of civilian authority over the military, and the transition of government under a new constitution in the shortest possible time. So in short, if we are going to look again at the context of our history, okay, this is already a framework, a guide. Actually, if you were to implement this now as is, okay, it's like we're just going back to history. Nagre-reset lang tayo. Okay?
So pwede nang gamitin yan.
Yeah, the difference lang siguro, okay, from a realistic point of view, EDSA was hijacked by vested interests. by what we call now, popularly called yung mga oligarchy, mga trapo. Di ba?
Let's go. Yeah. Okay, but then ang revolutionary government, when a government declares itself a revolutionary government, the president actually will able to govern, di ba? Executive
Absolutely.
and legislative
And
powers.
judicial.
Oo, because
Pwede actually hanggang judiciary.
Yeah.
yes, judicial also, legislative
It's
and
absolute
executive.
powers. You know,
Absolute power.
revolutionary, you have no definition really.
Because of the virtue of abrogation ng Constitution.
Correct.
Okay?
Correct.
Kasi under that premise, they can abolish the Constitution.
Yes.
Okay. So now, why do we want to do this? Okay. Yung nga natin, sinasabi na nga natin that it is an absolute power. Okay. So why do we want to do this?
Okay. There is,
I have an answer for that. But
Yeah.
I want,
revolutionary government finds justification in the fact that, we've been at this, doing the same things over and over again for the past 30 years, and nothing has changed. In fact,
Yes.
things have gone worse, di ba?
That's true.
And, somebody said that if you keep doing the same things over and over again and expect different results, there's something wrong with you na. Di
That's
ba?
true.
Ika nga, medyo may sira ka na sa ulo. Paulit-ulit na lang, tapos umaasa ka na magbabago.
Okay.
Medyo mesayad ka na siguro, di ba? So, there is justification in a revolutionary government.
Tama.
Yes, ako I see it, to put it plainly so that people will understand, embracing the concept of a revolutionary government is like getting married.
Okay.
'Di ba? You're not sure, 'di ba? Hindi mo alam kung tama ba 'tong gagawin ko, yung pakakasalan ko, will it work out? Will we stay together till death do us part? But that's part of the risk eh.
Yeah.
Di ba?
Ang sa akin naman, Tom, kasi going to the heart of it, ang para sa akin kasi, that's why I am also shouting revolutionary government. It's because it's Duterte.
Yeah.
Because it's his persona that we think that he can change, 'di ba? I mean, I would say, but that is my opinion, that the 1987 Constitution is a defective Constitution. And I can name
Yeah.
a few. We will talk about that, okay? But then what I'm saying is, why revolutionary government and why revolutionary powers for Duterte? Because you remember it, by electing Duterte is already a revolution. Para sa akin,
Yes,
because
yes.
he only have a couple of months. He doesn't want to run for an election, for president. Ayaw niya. Pero tayong taong bayan ang talagang nagpilit.
We rallied
Pinilit
behind
natin.
him and
We
made it
rallied
happen.
behind him. And-
Let's also look at the circumstances of his candidacy, no?
Yes,
He
yes.
keeps saying it. Wala siyang pera.
Oh, walang pera.
Pera.
Oh.
Ako, I will admit, and I've said this frequently, I also contributed to his campaign. Kasi nga walang pera eh.
Yes.
Ayaw nga tumanggap ng cash.
Wala.
Nagpa-imprenta na lang ako ng sticker.
O, di ba
nag-contribute
nagsabi nga
ako.
siya, si Lucio Tan nga daw was trying to give him money and I said no.
Yeah, those are the things that he mentioned. He had no political machinery.
Wala.
Okay?
Wala.
Everybody was against him.
Yes.
Diba? And then, you
Yung
kinda get
persona
the
niya.
feeling,
Yung persona niya.
mukhang,
Himself.
he doesn't appeal. Diba? He doesn't look nice on TV at all.
He's not one of the people in Imperial Manila.
That's right.
Correct.
Oh. Probinsyano nga
you
tawag sa
kinda
kanya.
have the feeling that he was, parang sinasabotahe niya yung sarili niya.
Yes.
Di ba?
Palamura.
At lagi na lang
Nagmumura.
sinasabi, ganyan ako eh. Kung ayaw niyo, wag niyo kay Toto. Wala
Tama.
namang problema.
Tama. Tama.
Di ba? I will agree that his election is revolutionary in that sense.
Yes.
From the traditional socio-political experiences that we've had, he is not cut from the same mold as those that we have elected before. Save probably for Erap Estrada. Okay. He was an aberration in my book, no. I would agree with you that his election was revolutionary. But remember, when he was elected, he took an oath to defend the Constitution eh.
Yes.
Di ba?
That is why we are the one giving him the powers, because he cannot because of his oath.
Violate.
Diba?
Correct.
Because that's why it is from the people that we have to give him that revolutionary
Correct. I agree.
powers.
Yeah.
So
It has to be people's
as I was saying kanina,
Yeah.
people power is the highest form of expression in a democracy. So what people can do, people can undo.
Correct.
And
Correct.
and sovereign will is high above than any constitution.
Correct.
So that is my yun ang inaano ko na sinasabi nga nila because he took oath. That's why he cannot by himself declare a revolutionary government because it has to come from the people.
Tama.
Diba? Okay.
Ang ano kasi dyan is, since, we have a lot of evidence to this effect, no?
Yes.
Kasi, I mean, I'm with Tom also with impeachment. Kaya nga, di ba, sabi niya, no, because he's sworn to protect the Constitution, all government officials, of course, who are functioning within the Constitution.
That is the solemn pledge.
Solemn pledge.
Okay.
Which is
that
why
he has to stick to the rules, diba?
Exactly.
But that is why we're talking about revolutionary powers right now because ginagawa nating inutil si Pangulong Duterte because of a defective constitution.
Exactly. The 1987 Constitution has, marami kasing nagtatanong rin sa akin online, bakit hindi na lang martial law? Bakit kailangan ng revolutionary powers? Kasi the martial law effectively is defined under law, di ba?
Correct.
But kasi maraming natatakot, di ba?
But the martial law will call for, I don't know, maybe Attorney Tom can correct me, but I know a martial law, when you declare a martial law, it has to have like a national disaster and a national security.
Again,
it has
just like revolutionary powers, there has to be a justification.
An impetus, no?
Now, martial law, because of
it's only a suspension of the Constitution.
Because of our reaction to our experience under Marcos, the Marcos regime.
National security not at that time.
Martial law, the conditions under which martial law can be declared are defined.
It's defined.
The extent and powers of the president and how to curb those powers are likewise defined in the Constitution.
So effectively nga, di ba, sinasabi nila na from the original 1935 Constitution, tama ba?
Yeah.
To the toothless 1987 martial law definition of martial law under the 1987 Constitution, wala ng power. So actually, the changes that we want a Duterte government to implement is no longer possible within the bounds of martial law.
You're correct. Yes.
Dahil tinanggalan na ni Cory ng ngipin because of her
the Cory
demarcosification.
The 1987 Constitution took out, made strengthened the oversight or the power of the judiciary, the Supreme Court, to review.
Yes. Let's talk about let's talk about the Constitution now. Why do we say that it is defective? Why do we say it is defective? Ako, one is yung foreign direct investment, the FDI. Okay, with the FDI, ang FDI ho kasi, mga listeners, yan yung po yung a foreigner cannot own any land in the Philippines. Also, the 60-40% ratio of a corporation, no? Kailangan 60% ang Filipino, 40% lang ang foreigner. But for me, with this, yung directive na ng ganyan sa Constitution was really, it's an anti-growth. Kasi para sa akin, nagawa yan because I can say that the 1987 Constitution was made by an oligarch
to return them in power.
To give it to the oligarch. I mean, I think that was
Ma'am Vivian, I'll add to that, no?
Competition, di ba? Parang tinanggal nila ang competition.
Yung 60-40 provision na yan sa Constitution, okay? Tignan mo nangyayari, okay? Ako first-hand experience,
We want to hear
foreigner,
this.
okay, can only own 40%. Si Pilipino ngayon magpepresenta. Okay, magsasabi, teka muna, under our laws, you cannot come in more than 40%. You have to partner with me.
Yes.
Okay?
Nawala kang pera.
Nawala akong pera. Si foreigner, ang mga kapital, ang magte-take ng risk, he will put in the capital, he'll put in the technology, he'll do all the headaches. Si Pilipino, just because he's a Filipino, can afford to sit around and make a lot of money.
Yes.
See? Now, it goes against the very, very concept na marami sa ating mga kababayan na iintindihan to. Di ba? Nagpapakamatay ka na nga magtrabaho. Diba? Hindi ka pa rin kumikita ng sapat para sa pamilya mo. Why? Because under the present setup, porket Pilipino ka lang, pwede ka nang humiga, pwede ka nang umupo, papasok si foreigner, si oligarch, yung mayaman ng husto.
Yes.
Very
Diba?
classic mentality yan, di ba? Na parang,
Exactly.
you buy my name.
Correct.
Yes.
You buy my name,
Correct.
and then you pay me for it.
Correct.
Wala
Kasi
akong
ako,
anything.
may sinasabi ako dito sa Pilipinas.
Exactly.
Kasi si nanay ko at saka si tatay ko ganito.
Si ganyan, si ganyan.
Di ba? Kilala ko si ganito, si ganon. Pero where is the hard work there?
Yes.
Where is the value given because of the hard work, the expertise, the knowledge, yung contribution mo?
Okay.
Di ba?
Yes.
We are taught now to be a lazy society that relies, again,
At saka,
look at the result,
But not only that,
umaasa sa pangalan ng magulang para umangat.
but not only,
Pero wala namang alam.
hindi pa paano naman yung foreigner na papasok?
Exactly.
I mean, with all the investments, bakit naman ako papasok?
Correct.
Nakakatakot.
Kaya
Bakit
nga
ako
ma'am,
papasok?
tignan mo,
Exactly.
ang baba-baba ng foreign direct investment na, they would rather go to Vietnam
Yes.
or to Thailand or to Indonesia or
Bakit
Malaysia.
ang Vietnam was really now, even Vietnam and Thailand is really talagang, I mean, the growth, di ba? The
Correct.
economical growth ng mga bansa, lalo na yung Vietnam. Tapos ngayon, naiiwan na naman tayo, di ba?
I have personal experience with this because I was an OFW for a very long time. When I first moved to Indonesia, Jakarta specifically, in 2003, lamang tayo eh. By March 2006, ang layo na ng infrastructure, ang layo na ng development, the life of the people. Even if you go to the slum areas, the cleanliness, ang layo na.
Yes.
And look at where
Kaya-
we are right now.
Alright.
Dahil natatakot ang mga foreign investors to come in because we take their money and they all they get is 40%.
That's right.
Correct.
Okay, but so it's really anti-growth for me. At saka talagang para sa akin, nagawa yan para dun sa mga kasama nila noon at that time, no 1987, na para maprotektahan yung kanilang ang kanilang interest, di ba? Hindi ba? Para sa akin, gano'n na nangyari doon eh, no?
Kaibigan and Kapamilya Incorporated.
Oo, di ba? So ngayon, okay. Aside, tapos ito pa. Paano yung yung constitutional tenure at saka yung civil service? 'Di ba nagkaroon ng memorandum circular? I think that was number 4 na sinabi ni Presidente Duterte na kayo lahat ng appointive positions have to be vacated. Mag-tender kayo ng resignation
Correct.
ninyo, hindi ba? O ilan ang nagbigay ng resignation? Halos
Wala pang, andyan pa rin nga si Chito Gascon eh.
Well, you know, he's a constitutionally...
Which means he must be impeached.
Yeah.
Well, that is
He
what I'm
must be
saying.
impeached and he has a fixed term. You
Well,
know,
that
like
is
the
what I'm saying. That's
ombudsman and
constitutional tenure.
Exactly.
Yung civil service. Okay, a classic example would be ERC.
Ayan.
Oh,
Yeah.
di ba?
Yes.
That is a classic example of what we're saying right now na hindi talaga sila pwedeng tanggalin kahit alam na natin at napapagbintangan na sila na sobra ang korupsyon doon
May
sa kanilang
nagpakamatay na nga
agency. O pero anong ginagawa? O nagpakamat meron na nga, hindi ba? Because of that. I mean, sabi siguro, where's justice here? Di ba? Lantaran na nagkakaroon ng korupsyon doon sa kanyang agency at tapos sinabi sa iyo ng presidente, oy, mag-resign ka dahil hindi na tama yung ginagawa mo. Pero ang lakas ng loob nila, hindi mo kami pwedeng alisin. Di ba?
Which under the law, tama nga sila. And alam ni Presidente yan. Kaya
Oo.
ang ginagawa ng Presidente, hindi niya sinasabihan, tanggal ka. 'Di ba? Because nga may batas na nagsasabi itong ERC chairman may fixed term 'yan. 'Di ba? Kaya ang ginagawa lang ni Presidente, hinihingi yung resignation.
Yes.
Ngayon, yung paghingi at yung ibibigay actually dahil sa paghingi magkaiba 'yon.
Yes.
'Di ba? Ngayon, yung ERC chairman ayaw ibigay, walang magawa talaga si Presidente.
Wala. Exactly. So, di ba?
Kaya
isa yon. So, how do we expect our president right now to fix the problem of corruption? Di ba?
Exactly.
I mean, nakita mo naman yung mga ginagawa niya ngayon, kung sino yung mga in-appoint nga niya, pero nagkamali ka, tinanggal niya. Di ba? Saan ka nakakita noon at that time yung last administration na nagtanggal siya ng mga appointive
Meron ba? Parang wala akong
wala akong nag-google ako kung meron kung sino yung mga tinanggal niya
Hindi lang Google kakahanap.
Purisima na nga
Andado.
ang dami ng mga tao nagrereklamo pero di ba halos hindi siya andun pa rin di ba? So that is what I'm saying kasi yung ating yung corruption natin hindi talagang nakatali naka-straight jacket ang ating presidente because of that constitutional tenure at saka yung civil service law.
Exactly.
Okay. So what else?
I think also, just to add to that, ma'am, I know, the problem of corruption in government is also tied up because of the lack of opportunities
That's true.
Kung pumunta tayo sa ibang bansa, 'di ba? People serve in government because it's really a privilege to serve your country.
Tama.
'Di ba? They could choose at any time to go back to the private sector and ang daming trabahong pwedeng kunin, high-paying, good-paying jobs. Because nga bukas na ang kanilang ekonomiya Diba?
Sabi nga nila kung magtatrabaho ka raw sa gobyerno talagang kumbaga tiis di ba?
Yes, totoo naman. I mean, anywhere you go naman. Di ba? But the thing is, you can afford to be patriotic in other countries because you know that the system works for you.
That's true.
Di ba?
They protect
Hindi
you.
mo na iniisip, papasok ako ng gobyerno para kumita. Di ba?
Health
Pwede mo nang
insurance mo
isipin.
nga lang At least man lang yun maanuhan ng gobyerno na pagka nagkasakit ka man lang, at least, di ba? It
Correct.
will be taken care of, di ba? Kahit papano, alam mo na pag nagkasakit ka, hindi ka na lang mamamatay dyan, di ba? Na hindi, okay. But then, but of course, mahaba pong usapin ang corruption. For me, it's institutionalized. Kasi bakit? Tumatakbo po ang isang politiko, ang laki-laki ng ginagastos. O paano niya babawiin yun? Hindi ba? Hindi ba negosyo? So, mahaba hong usapin ng korupsyon. Pero, ang sinasabi po natin, meron po tayong presidente at sinabi niya yan, ipinangako niya at ipinakikita niya na hindi po pwede sa kanya ang korupsyon. Kahit na best friend ka pa niya.
In fact, inuna niya yung mga kaibigan niya di ba?
Yun ang maganda.
Di ba? Nagkamali siya, masakit yun sa loob niya. Pero,
Command responsibility.
It has to be done
Exactly.
So, at least ako, alam ko na pagka pinalitan natin ng konstitusyon at binigyan ko siya ng RevGov powers, alam ko na magagamit niya sa tama when it comes to corruption.
Okay. So, i-move ko lang ng konti, Kasi natanong na to kanina. Pero just to clarify for all those na nakikinig or bagong pakinig pa lang, bakit nga ba natin bibigay ang revolutionary powers or shift to a interim or transitional revolutionary
These are the
government?
things. Yung pinag-uusapan natin because marami nagsasabi, bakit natin siya bibigyan ng revolutionary powers?
That's two major issues natin why we want it.
Yeah, because as I was saying, ang ating corruption, hindi ba isa na yan?
Saka yung deeply flawed na...
yung FDI na flawed na...
So our constitution is one major issue
the
niyan.
major issue. And not
Is
only that,
to
yung
rely.
federalism.
Okay. So ito
Fast
ang
track
dalawang
ng federalism.
Dalawang major reason is to fast track federalism
Yes.
and to rewrite the constitution or craft a new constitution that will make it easier for the president to implement the radical changes necessary to weed out corruption.
Okay.
And remember, revising the Constitution will outlive his presidency.
Exactly.
Yes.
Diba? Kasi, kaming mga kaibigan ko, okay, sige, nag-uusap kami, okay, sinasabi natin, ito ginagawa ni Duterte, mukhang ganito plano niya. Always, merong lagi nagsasabi, pag nawala na siya, 2022, sa
What's
ayaw
gonna
natin
happen?
at sa gusto natin, under this setup, bababa siya. Okay? Anong mangyayari sa atin? Balik na naman sa dati?
Are we willing for the whole system that has been put in place now to ricochet back?
Uulit na naman tayo, balik na naman tayo sa
As
dati.
though Duterte never happened.
Correct.
Yun yung pinaka-pangamba nating
Dapat
lahat.
when we transit, it has to be a new constitutional order
Correct.
already.
Yan.
You
Diba?
need to put the structures in
Yes.
place because this will outlive his presidency.
Yes.
Yun ang habol natin. Why we need to give him that now. Because let us not forget, we are already almost 1 year into his presidency. He has only 5 remaining years
Yes.
in this
And
presidency.
those 5 years
Are not-
ang bilis lang
Ang
yan.
bilis lang yan.
Sobrang bilis kasi, okay, let's talk about federalism because I think that will solve a lot of problems, di ba? Na yan ang maraming may gusto na mag-federalism form of government na tayo. Okay, so let's talk about that. Bakit sabi nga nila, pwede naman nating ihain yan sa Kongreso right now, di ba? Pero we are under pressure of time. Yung oras natin. Okay. Sa ngayon nga, nagkakagulo pa ang Kongreso natin. Ang daming impeachment na ipapasok, maraming bills na kailangan aprubahan. And do I trust Congress? That's a big question.
That's a very good question. I trust Duterte.
Yun na nga.
I trust Duterte to do right by me.
Exactly.
But I'm not so sure about how many? 300 ba?
300 plus.
300
more or
plus
less,
congressmen. Let's say we have even 200 of them.
Majority, sabihin mo na.
But ang ano niyan is, kailangan clear 2/3, no?
Yeah.
How many dapat?
Two-thirds. Two-thirds.
2/3,
I think,
no?
yeah.
Oo,
More or less 2/3.
Two-thirds siya.
How
Hindi,
sure
pero-
are we? Yung
hindi.
give or take ng let's say 20.
Okay, not only that, hindi lang yan ang usapin. Hindi nga nila malaman pa kung kasama ang Senate and Congress together.
Yan.
Kasi may napakahabang usapin po niyan.
At makalusot man sa Congress, meron pang Senate.
Meron pang Senate, no? So,
mga listeners, isipin nyo yung time necessary for
Mahaba
this.
po.
Hindi lang yun
oras.
eh. I mean, let's say, for example, if the president makes an appeal to congressmen and senators to fast-track constitutional
Yes.
change, and they are able to do so, let's say, in 30 days, walang tulugan, paspasan, di ba? Yun
luck
nga
with
eh,
that
ma'am,
na
eh,
lang,
di ba? Yun ang point, Rocky, eh, di ba?
Oo.
They have vested interest to protect. They represent vested interest.
Conflict of
Para
interest.
naman, hindi natin alam yan over
Oo.
the years.
Oo
Kahit sabihin mo sa
naman.
kanila, kahit sabihin man natin, PDP laban na lahat yan, kapartido ni Presidente. Eh, nung panahon ni Aquino, LP lahat yan eh.
As I was-
Nung panahon ni
Tama.
Gloria, lakas lahat
Tama.
yan.
Exacto.
Nagbigay
kaya yung
ng
sinasabi
naman
nila
yan eh.
supermajority, it's only a name.
Correct.
It is
Exacto.
not true.
Lang yan eh.
Walang supermajority. It is highest bidder, di ba?
Ito pang matindi dyan. Kasi we're not just pushing for federalism, as America has it na presidential federalism. What we're actually pushing...
Federal Parliament.
Exactly.
Oo.
Parliamentary federalism ang gusto natin. Which effectively will put an end to the legislative arm dahil magiging parliament na nga siya.
Yes.
Who among these senators and congressmen are willing to forever give up their dream of becoming
President.
or becoming part of the legislative arm? Dahil kasi wala na
I
siya.
think, you know, Rocky, the main objection kasi to the parliamentary system is there is no security of tenure eh.
Yun pa.
Okay, mas madali maging prime minister kasi kung kunyari si Congressman ABC ka dito sa Quezon City,
Yan.
okay? Yung partido ninyo majority sa parliament. Okay, lahat ng kapartido mo na members of parliament o congressmen binoto ka, prime minister ka kagad. Ikaw ngayon ang magpapatakbo ng bansa para kang si Lee Kuan Yew. You are like Justin Trudeau of Canada.
Yes.
Pero kinaumagahan pag masama ang gising ng mga to at naisip nila
Hindi,
mukhang
tsaka-
hindi ko na siya gusto.
Hindi, because
Pwede
you're
na
not
tanggalin.
performing.
It will be
If you
because
are
not
not performing,
Even,
unlike
even ma'am, for any reason whatsoever, because remember, may vote of no,
No
confidence
confidence.
yan.
Yes.
And confidence is very subjective.
Exactly.
Yes,
Just like betrayal of public trust.
yeah, but that happens. That happens. I mean, in UK, it happens in the US, it happens. I mean, ibig ko sabihin, hindi naman talagang okay, pagising ko, ayoko na sa'yo. Hindi naman, kumbaga, I mean, there, at least, you know, common sense that you have to have a reason.
A basis.
Oo.
Correct.
Ako
But ma'am,
daw,
that's
Pero ang
the
maganda,
point.
but
Ang
that-
maganda dyan,
ang
we
point-
become mature.
No,
Yun-
ang
yun ang-
point
ako
nun,
rin.
we don't have to wait 6 years
Correct. To
Exactly.
suffer.
para
Exactly.
paalisin mo ang
that
isang
president.
non-performing elected
That's why I think
official.
this, in fact, is a good thing. Na ang vote of no confidence can happen at any time.
So,
which
lagi
means,
ka nagtatrabaho.
Exactly.
Nagtsatsaga ka
Oo.
lagi to
You
keep maintaining yun. Hindi na pwede yung, kasi apelyido ko si
Exacto.
ganito. Si mami ko,
Yes.
may si mami ko bayani, si daddy ko bayani, tatay ko bayani. So,
Exacto.
okay na. Hindi pwedeng gano'n. Kailangan trabahuin mo yan
Trabaho.
araw-araw.
you need to
That
win
is
the
You
why-
need to keep on earning that
Yes.
confidence.
Kaya nga, at talaga, ako, parang sa akin, parang no question na talagang dapat federalism na tayo.
At parliamentary.
At, oo, yes.
Oo.
But then, of course, pinag-uusapan yan. Manggagaling din yan sa tao that has to be ratified by the people, di ba? So, kailangan,
plebiscite.
manggagaling pa rin yan sa tao kung gugustuhin nila yan or hindi. Pero, sa nakikita ko, kasi actually, Attorney Tom, at saka Rocky, I've been going around the country really advocating federalism. At nakita namin talaga yung hunger na mga tao that kailangan na nilang baguhin because of the Imperial Manila. Dahil alam naman natin, makikita mo ang budget, yung national budget natin, yung central budget natin, talaga namang bayad kaya ng bayad ng buwis, tapos kunyari nandun ako sa Mindanao, hindi bumabalik sa akin. Hindi ba? So, yun ang problema. So, sinabi naman ni Presidente Duterte yun na talagang hindi natin masosolve ang secessionists sa Mindanao kung hindi tayo magfe-federalism form of government. Okay. So now, going back, that is also one big factor on why we want revolutionary powers para kay Pangulo.
To fast track.
Fast track federalism because sa Congress, hahaba po ang usapan at masyadong mahal.
Hindi lang yon, maraming vested interest.
Marami.
Ang hirap
Assume nga
kalkulahin.
let's assume nga ma'am that biglang sinipag tong mga to. Isang linggo or let's say isang buwan. Tapos, di ba? Nire-write ang buong constitution. Di ba? Naghimala. Di ba? Masyado maraming vested
Miracles can happen,
naman.
Di ba? And knowing the president, di ba, he being a lawyer, he respects the separation of powers, di ba?
Co-equal branches.
Co-equal branches yan di ba? Now, siguro kailangan maintindihan din ng mga tagapakinig natin, yung revolutionary government, hindi ito yung punot dulo ng pinaglalaban natin.
Tama.
Gusto natin lumaktaw kagad sa parliamentary federal.
Yes.
Exactly.
Ngayon, si
Yun,
Presidente,
Ang means to an end.
Yes.
sinasabi ngayon ni Presidente na, di ba, merong discussion about he wants a federal system but he wants a strong president.
Strong president. Yes.
Diba?
Yes.
You know, a president...
Parang French model yan
Parang French model. Kasi alam nyo yung parliamentary at saka federal, maraming model yan.
Marami.
Iba-iba talaga. You know,
Bespoke yan
Oo.
Tailor made.
kasi ang maganda naman sa parliamentary federal, talagang it is tailor-made or suited for your local conditions.
Yes,
exactly.
Kaya pinag-uusapan yan.
Correct.
Talaga pinag-uusapan yan. That's why, you know, gustong-gusto ko yung ginawa ni Presidente when he put up a 25-man commission. Kasi nga, alam niya na magkakagulo rin. Ano? Pero hanggang ngayon, hindi pa nga na-fill up yung 25-man commission. So, anyway, so yan ang gusto natin, fast-tracking federalism, no? Dahil only a revolutionary powers to a president can do that.
Okay.
Yun lang ang pwedeng, yun lang ang tool at saka ang weapon ng isang presidente para ma-fast track niya ang federalism. Because otherwise, we're gonna have to go on a tedious process na dadaan sa Kongreso, dadaan sa Senate. Hindi
na may
ba?
vested interest.
Oo. And then not only that, okay, let's say, na may conflict of interest yan, di ba? Okay, sabihin na natin, okay, matatapos yan after 2-3 years, di ba? So 4 years
Ito
na lang,
yung
di ba?
timeline na, no?
Paano ang implementation?
Exactly.
Para bang nagutos ka na, okay, itong rules mo, itong gagawin mo, ganun, tapos iwanan na kita?
Hindi naman pwede ang ganyan.
Di ba? Kumbaga, hindi ba, at least yung implementation man lang, he can see it through. Pero alam mo, ang sabi kasi ng Presidente, 2020 gusto niya nang bumaba Oo. He doesn't even want to finish that 6 years. Nakikita naman natin na pagod na rin po.
Turned
ang ating
72.
Pangulo.
Last month.
Maraming nagsasabi, sabi niya, naku, magiging parang Marcos yan, diktador. That's BS. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
I mean, it is idiotic to say that because why? He is 72 years old.
Unless
I mean,
immortal yan, di ba?
kung 40, 50 years old man lang siya, di ba sasabihin mo, teka muna, after 6 years, nako, energetic pa ito, di ba? Politika po, pwede pa to, di ba? Pero hindi, 72 years
Ako
old na
simple
siya.
lang, ma'am, ibabalik ko yung argument na yan sa mga nagsasabi baka maging diktator
Yes.
Di ba? All throughout the past 30 years, sa dami-dami ng presidenteng nakaupo bilang pangulo ng bansa, di ba? Halos lahat sa inyo nagsabi at one point in time, kailangan natin ng medyo diktador na presidente.
Lee Kuan Yew. Yan ang papasok siya.
Exactly.
Yung frustration natin, let's say, sa nakaraan, di ba, na harap-harapan ng nakawan, hindi man lang tinatanggal sa pwesto. Anong sinasabi natin? Alam mo, kailangan siguro natin medyo malakas ang loob na presidente, medyo diktador eh. Di ba?
Yan.
Sino sa inyo hindi nagsabi niyan?
Exacto.
Exacto.
I always say this on my posts, if you want the Philippines to be a Singapore, you need to empower Duterte and make him a Lee Kuan Yew.
Yes.
Kung gusto nyo na umayos ang bansa, katulad ng Singapore, kailangan nyo ng isang Lee Kuan Yew.
Tama.
At andito na si Duterte. Hihintayin pa ba nating mawala itong opportunity na to?
Okay, going back by that statement, dadagdagan ko lang, Rocky, no. Remember itong dokumentong to, itong proclamation number 3, yung kay Cory. Okay. Sila ang gumawa niyan. Now, Ma'am Vivian, I agree with you. Yung concept natin, revolutionary government, manggagaling sa tao, bibigay natin sa Pangulo. Tayo na ang gumawa nito. 'Di ba? Tayo na ang gumawa na proclamation for revolutionary government. Theoretically, tignan natin yung senaryo. Tayo pwede magsulat, pwede natin ilagay doon. We will guarantee that the president will guarantee respect for human rights.
Yes, tayo gagawa nun.
Exactly.
That is why,
Protection, their security, protection, and what have you. Di ba?
And Attorney Rocky, we will not call it a revolutionary government. We will call it people's government,
Or a
because
revolutionary
the
government.
powers was given to the people. The people were the one will give him the powers, di ba?
Ayan.
Teka, commercial break daw tayo.
Ito ang DZRJ 810 AM, TriMEDIA, ang himpilan ng bawat Pilipino.
Uy, si Miss, unang tingin pa lang, puti na. Kinis pa.
Nag-Myra Vita White Hand and Body Lotion kasi. May vitamin E beads and natural plant extracts that help nourish skin deep inside for a healthy white glow. Puti at kinis, ay, hanggang malapitan.
Yala na.
Healthy white glow sa Myra Vita White Lotion. Yan ang alagang holistic by Myra. Trusted quality healthcare. Unilab yan.
Makibahagi sa talakayan at usapin ng mga napapanahong negosyo kasama si John Paul sa programang Biztalk 101. Makinig at matuto sa mga kwento ng tagumpay sa pagninegosyo. Biztalk 101, Biztalk 101 kasama si John Paul. Linggo alas 5 hanggang alas 6 ng gabi. Dito lamang sa DZRJ 810 AM. Hatid sa inyo ng TriMEDIA, ang himpilan ng bawat Pilipino. Makibahagi at matuto tungkol sa Pinoy pop culture, maging sa larangan ng modeling, beauty pageantry, photography, at marami pang iba sa lahat ng aspeto ng buhay. Dito sa Litrato Philippines, ihahatid sa inyo ang tila larawang storya na kagandahan ng Pilipinas. Tuwing linggo, alas 3:30 hanggang alas 4:30 ng hapon. Litrato Philippines, dito lamang sa DZRJ 810 AM. Hatid sa inyo ng TriMEDIA, ang himpilan ng bawat Pilipino.
A longtime news anchor and commentator, a much-respected TV host, a multi-awarded Filipino broadcaster, twice hailed as Radio Broadcast Journalist of the Year, an acknowledged leader of the radio and TV industries, a legendary figure in broadcasting for the past 4 decades. This year's recipient of the Achievement Award for Excellence in Broadcasting, the man with a distinct voice and unparalleled integrity, the one and only Ray Landi.
DMPC, thank you so much. Maraming spectacular sa ating show sa Sanggabon Langit, may isa. Si JR Langit po ang nagpapatuloy sa naging commitment niya ng iniwanan po ng ating anak na si Richter. Sa lahat po na gusto pumasok sa ganitong daralan, hindi lang po passion na kinakailangan. We need dedication and commitment. Then you can say you can easily achieve your goal in uplifting the standards of broadcast journalism, leading to the quest of excellence that will help democracy move forward. Maraming salamat. DZRJ Radyo Bandido, alas 10 ng mga Lunes hanggang Biyernes, ang iyong kasangga, Ray Lam.
This program is brought to you by TriMedia Pro Incorporated.
Ngayong Sabado, tiyak gaganda ang inyong umaga dahil may bago na tayong makakasama sa isang matalino at makabuluhang talakayan. Handog ng TriMedia. Makakasama at makakahuntahan na natin sa radio, TV at social media ang Miss Body Language ng Philippine movie industry. Si Miss Vivian Velez. Body Language! Live dito sa DZRJ 8:10 AM. Ang Double V sa DZRJ. Vivian Velez, the beauty and brain. Vivian Velez. Vivian Velez. Dito sa Double V.
It's 7:25. Nako, ang bilis ng oras. Okay, we were talking about People's Initiative and we were, sabi ko nga, let's call it a people's government. Bakit? Kasi tayo po mga tao magbibigay ng powers, na extraordinary powers na yan sa ating Pangulong Duterte. So, it is by the people, for the people. So, it is people's government. Coin po yan ni Mr. Jose Alejandrino. Hello! Kasama po natin yan sa ating quest for a better government. Okay?
If I may add, Ma'am Vivian,
Yes.
no, the grant of powers to the president, okay, just like what happened in 1986,
Yes. Okay, let's
is
go
not
there.
only a grant of powers, it is also a limitation of those powers.
Ayan.
Yes.
Hindi lang natin
Napaka-importante
bibigyan
niyan.
siya ng kapangyarihan, pero
kondisyon.
sasabihin natin sa kanya, Mr. President, ito may mga patakaran na hindi mo pwedeng labagin. Unang-una, yung human rights ng tao, yung karapatan, di ba?
Yes.
Right against warrantless arrest.
Yes.
Right to be presumed innocent. Right to a
Yes.
lawyer. Right against, hindi pwedeng pumasok yung pulis sa bahay mo basta-basta.
Yes. Yes.
Dadamputin ka na lang basta-basta.
Yes. Kasi yun ang mga
mukhang
fear ng tao eh.
mukhang-
Yun ang mga fear.
Parang si Rocky, di ba?
Okay.
Medyo kalbo yung ulo,
Ay.
mukhang
Problema
mukhang
na ito pala.
gumagawa ng kalokohan, so dadamputin
May
ng pulis
tattoo.
yan.
Yan, may tattoo.
Sasabihin natin dyan sa dokumentong yan, di ba, hindi pa pwede to, Mr. President.
Yes.
Hindi mo pwedeng gawin to.
Yes. Oh, of course we can do that because why? We're the one giving him the powers
Exactly,
to do it.
diba?
So parang pero yan nga Attorney Tom, yan nga yung mga fears din ng mga tao. But then as we were saying kanina, why do you think our President Duterte will commit genocide? I mean, sabi mo nga, buhay pa naman ang mga tao sa Davao.
Kaya nga.
Tama.
Hindi lang yun, ma'am. Ang point ko rin dyan is, huwag tayong matakot magbago.
Ayan,
Let
napaka-importante
us not be scared to take that leap of faith.
Yes.
Because balikan na lang natin, 1986, ang lakas-lakas ni Presidente Marcos.
Yes.
Di ba?
Tama.
Strong man talaga. Lahat, buong militar nasa likod niya. Pero napatalsik din siya sa pwesto.
Oo.
Huwag tayong matakot sa mga namumuno sa atin. Hindi lang siguro sa presidente, pati kay governor, kay congressman, kay mayor, kay barangay chairman. Huwag tayong matakot sa kanila. Kasi alam mo, sila naman yung nagsisilbi sa atin eh. Yan ang sinasabi rin ni presidente, di ba? We have to be assertive, di ba?
Yes.
Yung sinasabi niya example sa immigration, mga kababayan nating OFW.
O sa Bureau of Customs.
Yan. Di ba? Ano sabi niya? Sampalin ninyo, sigawan niyo,
Sampalin.
murahin niyo.
Yeah. Make noise.
Make noise. Why? It will come to my attention.
That's
and
right.
I will act on it.
Oo. Kaya nga, balikan nga natin yun kasi because of the fear, di ba? Marami naman talagang maraming natatakot, no? Doon sa extraordinary powers na yon. Okay. Pero bakit hindi kayo natatakot sa mga protector ng illegal drugs? Hindi ba? Bakit tayo hindi natatakot sa korupsyon? Bakit tayo hindi natatakot na pag bumaba si Pangulong Duterte, talagang
Babalik na naman
balik
sa
na
dati.
naman po tayo sa dati. Narco-politics na nga tayo eh. Ang sabi nila, meron din nagsasabi na bakit yung revolutionary government, dapat itinayo na yan, very, very, nung pag-upo niya. Hindi po alam ng ating Pangulo na ganito tayo kagrabe, na ganito na pala tayo. Sabi nga niya, he will finish illegal drugs problem in 6 months. Pagkatapos pag-upo niya, hindi niya alam, 40% of barangay captains are involved in illegal drugs. Isa pa yan na sinasabi ko. Kasi, under the law, di ba sabi niya, 40% yan, ayaw niya na magkaroon ng eleksyon. Bakit? Kasi 40% of the barangay captains are involved in illegal drugs. Anong sabi sa kanila ng presidente ng barangay council? Ang sabi ni, I think, Safra, president nung, sabi niya, he won't be able to do that unless he will violate the law. Okay. So, ayun. Isa pa yun. Di ba?
Ang tapang ng mga narco-politicians natin.
No, because under the Constitution, they are protected.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, ang mga narco-politicians natin are thriving, lumalago under the 1987 Constitution.
Para pagbintangan na kita, ikaw, illegal drugs ang kalakalan mo. Ay, sasabihin na sa'yo na, hindi mo naman ako matatanggal.
Ano ngayon? Wala kang magagawa sa akin.
These are the things that we face every day. And then we want our president to perform, di ba? To fix the problem.
Exactly.
Ngayon, para sa akin, every single day, ang presidente natin, ang isang paa niya nasa hukay na. You know, every single day, he's putting his life on the line because para sa akin, siya lang ang naging presidente na talagang humarap sa illegal drugs na problema natin.
Head on, no?
Head on. Wala akong presidente na nakitang ganyan.
Hindi nga pinag-usapan ng huling administrasyon at all.
Hindi natin nalaman, di ba?
Hindi lang yon. You know, I also believe that if ever there is somebody who can lick these problems, it is him. Because, you know why? It's very simple lang Everybody, like I was just reading an article, there was this congressman from Laguna saying that Duterte is overrated. I can do better than him as mayor of Davao.
I know this congressman.
Ang point ko, we all know, lahat tayo alam natin kung anong klaseng syudad ang Davao nung 1980s.
Oh, yes.
Nung nag-uumpisa siya, di ba?
Yes.
Okay? Ang daming sindikato, rampant criminality. Yung isang
sabi
dating
nila, 6 o'clock pa lang daw ng gabi, kailangan nasa loob na ng bahay.
Meron nga akong kausap, dating opisyal ng Armed Forces na destino sa Davao noong 1980s, pumapasok daw sila sa Davao City, kailangan naka-APC ka. Hindi ka pwedeng pumasok doon na wala kang backup kasi talagang uubusin ka doon.
Wow.
Okay? Ganun kalala. Ako, simple lang yan The fact that Mayor Duterte, now the President, is still alive after all these years at dinaanan niya yan, araw-araw, nagdadrive pa ng taxi, mag-isa at nagmomotor at buhay pa siya hanggang ngayon. Ibig sabihin,
walang bodyguard, di ba?
Walang bodyguard, kaya niya talaga.
Yun na yun.
Ngayon, lahat ng mga nagsasabi, okay, ano lang yan, boka lang yan, you know, that's all talk, but you're not walking your talk.
Yeah. Walk the talk.
Correct.
I keep on saying that.
The fact, ito lang ang punto ko, buhay pa si Presidente nung panahon na namuno siya sa Davao na ganong kagulo at buhay pa siya ngayon. Ibig sabihin, kaya niya yan.
That was the very reason why we elected him. Kaya siya naging popular because of that discipline, di ba?
And because we know he can deliver the goods.
Correct.
Oo.
We actually have an existing model, which is Davao, na ito na itong ebidensya. Ano pang hinahanap ninyo? Diba?
Oo.
So, in this whole move for a people's government, yun na po ang itawag natin.
People's
government na tayo ha. Dahil kasi, para i-disabuse natin yung sarili natin sa notion ng revolutionary government.
I'm saying, because it is not a revolution. He is a duly elected president. Landslide po nanalo siya nung election.
And inaugurated by Congress.
Hanggang ngayon, yung trust rate niya mataas. Not only that, and we know that he is really performing. Pero alam natin,
we are in a better state now than 8 months ago when we first came.
Walang revolusyon.
Walang revolusyon.
Oo, walang revolusyon, 'di ba?
So tanggalin na natin yung
people's government. Because we're the one who's giving him the powers.
Exactly.
The extraordinary powers.
Because our goal is to actually fast track federalism and craft a new constitution that will allow the weeding out of corruption and for the parliamentary federalism type parliament to be able to function in a way that will best serve the people.
we have to change the 1987 defective Constitution.
Exactly.
Okay, that is first and foremost kasi kailangan po talagang mabago ang saligang batas. Dahil marami pong mga defective na law na kailangan natin talagang palitan. So, pagka nangyari po itong revolutionary powers, itong people's government natin, what do we expect? Meaning, do you think that it's really going to change the whole setup of the whole, paano, makikita natin after about 4 years, ano na tayo?
I believe, Ma'am Vivian, kasi, yung tinatawag na transitional or new government or whatever we decide to call it, is also a reflection of the personality of the person behind it. Like, for example, when we had the 1986 Freedom Constitution, the revolutionary government of Cory, okay, it was a reflection of kung sino siya, yung pagkatao niya. Nandoon yung sinasabing restoration of democracy, protection of basic rights, rebuilding of confidence in government, eradication of graft and corruption, restoration of peace and order. But tanggapin natin, si Cory was just a housewife. And sinabi niya rin yun, di ba? Nung tumakbo siyang bilang Pangulo. So, ang nangyari doon is, although may good intentions, hindi na i-follow through. Kasi nga, being a leader also requires yung tinatawag na politically savvy. Ika nga yung nababasa mo yung kalaban mo. Medyo may wais ka. Di ba? Nababasa mo yung ginagawa ng kalaban mo. Kasi alam mo, yung mga nandito ngayon, yung mga kalaban natin na kumukontra sa pagbabago, hindi naman yan give up ng basta-basta porket murahin mo, porket batikusin mo. Hindi naman bibigay yan. Yung mayaman sila ng gusto, tandaan natin yan. Whether it's drugs, corruption, influence peddling, palakasan, yung mayaman ng gusto mga yan. Hindi nila ibibigay ng basta-basta yan. Again, going back to my analogy, si then Mayor Duterte, napatakbo niya yung Davao, nalinis niya, at hanggang ngayon, buhay pa siya. Okay? Tignan natin, halos 1 taon na siya nakaupo. We have a glimpse of his personality and his style of governance.
Yun na nga yun eh.
So,
yun na nga yun eh.
Yung magiging transitional government will be also more or less a reflection of his personality.
Why would you think it to be anything but the way it has been for the past 9 months, no? Why would we even imagine, pag naging people's government, biglang, nag-iba, biglang nag-hatch out of a shell itong monster na magiging ganun, di ba?
Yun nga yung maganda yung sinabi ni Attorney Tommy, we had a glimpse of it already on how, di ba?
On how he will run it. But of course, di ba, me being a lawyer kasi, although kunyari si Rocky binigyan ko ng umutang si Rocky sa akin ng 1,000, di ba? Bayaran kita next week. Syempre, di ba? Bilang kaibigan, syempre hindi na namin ilalagay yan sa sige, okay lang, walang problema, di ba? Pero pagdating kay Mayor, when we're talking about a nation of close to 110 million people, di ba? Different backgrounds, different socio-economic classes. We have to ensure also, di ba, let's put it in writing, in the form of a transitional constitution in the meantime. That while we make the transition, di ba,
covenant.
Yes, let's respect certain rights, which, again, going back to my argument, we've seen a glimpse ng personality niya.
Yes.
Di ba?
And I like what I'm seeing.
Like, tignan mo yung sa kadamay, di ba?
I like what I'm seeing.
Pilipino din yan di ba? Kahit ng agaw ng maraming nagsasabi, mali yan, hindi sa'yo. Pero ang punto ni Presidente, Pilipino pa rin.
We will go there. How many, ilan ang percent ng poverty? I mean, it widens already yung talagang mga mayayaman at mahihirap. Yun nga, echoing what si Sergio was saying that we'll have to create that middle class. Kasi talagang talagang Anyways, sige, pag-usapan po natin yan. Commercial break muna po tayo.
TriMEDIA, ang himpilan ng bawat Pilipino.
Ang dami ng peke sa world. Unfair. Pati ba naman puti mo? Peke din? Para totoong puti, mag-Myra Vita White Moisturizer. May vitamin E at natural plant extracts to help nourish skin for that healthy white glow. May double sunscreen na, non-sticky pa. Ito ang totoong healthy white glow. From Myra Vita White Moisturizer. Yan ang alagang holistic. Trusted quality healthcare. Unilab yan.
Pag-asenso sa negosyo, pag-aralan at matutunan sa negosyo ni Carancio. Mga latest updates sa merkado, mga kaalaman sa pagdinegosyo mula sa mga eksperto at maging job openings, alamin. Ihahatid sa inyo ng ating nag-iisang Carancio sa negosyo, Miguel Hill, sa negosyo ni Carancio. Negosyo ni Carancio. Tuwing Sabado, 1:00 hanggang 3:00 ng hapon at Linggo, 12:00 ng tanghali hanggang 1:30 ng hapon. Dito lang sa DZRJ, 8:10 AM. TriMEDIA, ang himpilan ng bawat Pilipino.
This program is brought to you by TriMEDIA Pro Incorporated.
Ngayong Sabado, tiyak gaganda ang inyong umaga dahil may bago na tayong makakasama sa isang matalino at makabuluhang talakayan. Handog ng TriMEDIA. Makakasama at makakahuntahan na natin sa radio, TV at social media ang Miss Body Language ng Philippine movie industry. Si Miss Vivian Velez. Body Language! Live dito sa DZRJ, 8:10 AM. Ang Double V sa DZRJ. Vivian Velez, the beauty and brain. Vivian Velez. Vivian Velez. Dito sa Double V.
We're back, 7:41. Ito, yung hanging natin, pinag-uusapan natin, Attorney Tom, about yun nga, yung gap that is really, for me, it's alarming. Kasi masyado na, wala tayong halos middle class na. Oo. We can expound on that.
Okay. Tignan natin yung mga ibang bansa, lalo na sa mga kababayan natin na OFW na nakapag-experience ng buhay na may maraming middle class. Like for example, Hong Kong, sa Amerika, sa Europa.
Yes.
Alam mo, yung middle class kasi, pagka umaangat ang tao, mula sa mahirap, nagiging middle class, ang middle class, naiisip niya na yung konsepto ng demokrasya, kalayaan, accountability, pananagutan sa kasalanan. Madaling sabihin yan pero sa mahirap, hindi nila masyadong mag-grasp yan hindi nila masyadong maintindihan yan
Kasi day to day na lang.
Kasi isang kahig isang tuka di ba? Iniisip mo lagi, paano ka makakatawid sa gutom?
That's true.
Pero once umangat ka na, okay, nakakapag-isip ka na ng mga konsepto ng demokrasya, kalayaan. Oy, ito hindi tama to. Ito hindi dapat ginagawa to. Kahit hindi ka apektado, nakikita mo mali.
Tama.
Yan ang nangyayari kasi ngayon. Masyado tayong napakaliit ng oligarchy natin. Maliit din ang middle class. Tapos majority sa atin, mga mahihirap.
Yes.
Ang mahihirap kasi madaling imanipula.
Tama.
Aminin na natin tuwing eleksyon, di ba? Doon lumalabas yan. Si kandidato na mayor, governor, congressman. Meron akong nakakasama dati. Kumakampanya lang ng konsehal dito sa isang syudad sa Manila. Ano sabi ng mga tao? Ay, konsehal, ayaw namin yan kasi wala masyadong grasya binibigay
Okay.
So, hindi partido pinapag-usapan, hindi programa. Lagi, grasya, benepisyo.
Walang
ang
long term
naibibigay.
na
Walang long term
Yes.
Di ba?
Kasi busy sila na iniisip ang bukas.
Oo.
Hindi nila naiisip
Hindi
yung
lang
next
bukas,
month,
yung mamayang hapon.
Mamayang hapon. Wala silang concept ng this will lead to this in the future na gagaan natin.
Kaya nga ang masasabi ko pagdating dito, talaga yung mga oligarchs, talagang sila lang parang kumbaga, yumaman na sila ng yumaman at hindi na spread kahit papano.
Hindi lang yun, ma'am. You know, the problem with the oligarchy, that's why also
Yes.
you have a constitution that shuts out foreign competition.
Yes.
Is because nakaupo na lang sila
Yes.
at yung mayaman kumakabig ng husto.
Yes.
Pag pumasok ang foreign competition, kakainin sila ng buhay. Bakit? Wala na silang alam Di ba? Competition makes you sharp, di ba?
That's true.
Parang basketball, di ba?
Oo.
Makikipaglaban ka, makikipaglaro ka sa mga kalaban mo na mas magaling sa'yo dahil gumagaling ka.
Classic
Hindi
example.
ka makikipaglaro sa
Tama.
mas banu sa'yo kasi wala kang matututunan.
Tama.
Paano nga classic example lang natin, yung internet connections lang natin. O hindi ba?
It's a means
Hindi
of
makapasok.
controlling us din
Yes.
kasi.
Diba? So,
The inflow of information is limited. Therefore, yung mga konti lang ang alam, hindi masyadong hasa, nagmumukhang matalino at magaling at kayang i-control yung maliit.
Konting ano lang, konting talkies lang, kaysa demokrasya, ganito, ganon.
Okay
yung
na.
mga wow, ang galing, di ba?
Konting statesmanship lang.
so who do we think can change this, diba?
Balik tayo sa ang tiwala natin.
Kaya ano pa rin,
buo.
si Digong pa rin, si Tatay
Doon
Digong
talaga
pa rin ang
yun.
talaga makakatulong dito dahil naiintindihan niya.
Hindi lang
Diba?
yun. Si Presidente kasi, hindi siya insecure.
Tama.
Hindi naman siya di ba? Sinasabi niya, ako nga 7 years ako nag-graduate ng 75 lang ako.
Oo.
Oo. Hindi siya insecure.
Oo. So, yung actually, kasi nung eleksyon, talagang ang sigaw po natin talagang si Duterte para sa tunay na pagbabago. So, that is what I'm holding on. Kasi yung change na gusto natin is, I think, eto na yun. Kailangan talaga natin bigyan siya ng extraordinary powers, ang revolutionary powers, ang tinatawag po natin dahil para magawa niya ang mga ito. Tapos may mga ibang fears kasi,
balikan ko lang yung point na inano ni kasi baka may mga bagong pakinig lang, no? Ang one of the whatever constitution is crafted within the term of a particular president, sabi nga ni Attorney Thomas, a reflection.
Of the personality
of the personality of yung nag-ano niyan.
Pero teka muna, drafting this constitution is talagang mga tao din.
Mga tao, naghihintay nga si
hindi siya lang yung gagawa nun, hindi siya ang gagawa nun.
Kaya nga yung 1987 Constitution, for all of its good intentions as a return to democracy, is in fact a demarcosification of the Philippines. Diba? Overarching theme yan talaga, demarcosification. Ang tanong kasi ng marami ring ng mga pangamba ng mga ibang nakikinig at saka ng mga on social media is, wala ba tayong measures to achieve federalism and a new constitution while still functioning within this deeply flawed constitution?
Kung meron, di sana sinagot na nila yan.
Diba?
Or kung meron man, nagawa na natin pa.
So gano'n kasimple lang yun, ano? Na parang, there is in fact no constitutional measures to change the deeply flawed constitution. Kailangan talaga extra constitutional measure.
Although on paper, meron. Pero, di ba, gaya ng sinasabi natin, yung nakasulot at sa actual, magkaiba. Okay? Ito lang ang masasabi ko sa mga tagapakinig natin. Change is never easy. You need to sacrifice. You need to give up something. You need to bite the bullet. Ngayon,
it's a bitter pill that we have to swallow.
Diba?
Yeah. It is.
Like I said, para medyo patawan ng konti, parang pag-aasawa lang yan. Diba?
Automatic.
Ano yun?
Bakit? Paano?
Paano yun?
Well, you know,
Wala tayong divorce. Ayan. Yung pa yung isang gusto ko doon, di ba? Dahil kahit pa... Hindi, kasi let's talk about divorce. Wala yan sa Constitution. Hindi sabihin, hindi ba? Para sa akin, kasi that is a protection of a woman Sa babae po yun Kasi ang nangyayari rin naman, alam naman natin ang mga nangyayari ngayon, walang protection. Dahil because wala tayong divorce, iiwanan ka na lang ng ng asawa mo for whatever, and then anong protection? Walang protection. Hindi ka na pwede. Diyos ko, ang annulment will cost you so much. Meron tayong annulment, but you have to spend so much money. Di ba?
And wala pang kasiguruhan na i-grant.
Makukuha may annulment.
Ito, may tatanong lang ako. Ang violence ba, let's say, kunyari, nabubugbog ka na ng asawa mo, pwede ka ba mag-file ng divorce? Walang divorce.
Walang divorce.
So, annulment lang.
Oo. Pero
That is a ground?
That will come in, you can seek relief under the Violence
didemanda mo yung
Against
asawa
Women
mo.
and Their Children Act,
Oo,
which is a criminal case you can file against your husband.
But will not allow you to remarry still.
No, it doesn't go into the validity. It doesn't go into the marriage ties. It goes into the person, 'di ba, yung binubugbog ka.
Pero
Yung
actually may
asal
bill na yata tayo diyan. Oo, may bill na. Okay.
But again, the Constitution still needs to be changed heavily, di ba? And I think we need to go back to the point na makakaya ba? Kunyari, di ba, meron yung push for con, yun na lang ang terminology, ang tagal nilang ma-resolve. Con ba tayo? Con-as ba tayo? Ano ba?
Yes.
Yun pa lang, nomenclature pa lang, hindi na tayo makamove forward. And we are left with 5 years. And if matuloy ang mag-grant man ng tao ang wish ni Duterte na 2020, wala na siya, that gives us 3 years. 3 years left.
Kunya ang fear nila, ang fear ko na pag nawala na si Duterte, wala na ang federalism.
Wala nang federalism.
Diba? Because I can
back.
Yes, because I can see that he is the only president who is willing to shed off his presidency, right?
At meron tayo niyan, 'di ba? Wasn't that in fact one of the conditions dati ni Cory Aquino when she assumed power, that she was actually going to push for federalism?
I'm not too sure about that, no.
Yes.
I'm not too sure about that. But what I do know was that there was, talks that, she would relinquish power to her vice president, si Doy Laurel.
Yeah.
Because aminado naman daw siya that she was just a housewife, in fairness to her, no. But she was just motivated by a desire to change. But then again, what happened in 86, it was hijacked by these oligarchs.
It's true.
Wag na tayo like for example dito sa itong proclamation number 3, 'di ba? Complete reorganization of government, 'di ba? To eradicate graft and corruption against those who have wronged the people and everything. Ang problema kasi yung mga naka-victory sign nung panahon ni Marcos nung kampanya, biglang naglaban sign, okay na sila. 'Di ba? Now those very same people are now with the president now as the supermajority. Let's face it. Tingnan nyo yung history ng congressman ninyo, yung pamilya nila, yung tatay o yung congressman mismo o yung mayor ninyo. Saan nag-umpisa yan? Di ba? Kapartido ni Marcos, kapartido ni Cory, ni Ramos, ni Erap, ni Gloria, ni Noynoy, at ngayon ni Duterte.
Did you know that there's 6 presidents that only belongs to 4 families?
Yes.
Okay, makapagal, di dalawa sila, hindi ba? Ramos and Marcos are cousins.
Correct.
And now si Aquino. Okay, so talagang gano'n, hindi ba? So, hopefully, yun talaga yung gusto ko talaga yung federalism. I mean,
At saka isa pang objection, no? Okay, balikan natin yung opening up the economy to foreign investment. Sinasabi ng mga so-called nationalists, di ba, puro banyaga na lang ang magnenegosyo dito sa Pilipinas. Di ba? Alam nyo, ito sinasabi ko yung magiging empleyado ka sa isang banyagang kumpanya, hindi naman yan be all and end all ng iyong existence, di ba? Hindi mo naman pwedeng sabihin o hindi mo dapat sabihin habang buhay empleyado na lang ako. Malay mo, magtayo ka ng business. Makapag-ipon ka.
Doon ka lang naman ng opportunity.
Di ba?
Tama.
Kaysa ngayon, sa ngayon, yung sitwasyon mo, wala.
Okay. Basahin natin yung mga sinasabi nga nila, yung kay Angie Amayim, sabi niya, tama po yung annulment. So expensive, parusa po sa amin, cannot afford. Yung kay Frederick Cartier, maraming bebot din na gusto ng divorce. Okay. So, marami talaga, yun nga, isa yan sa mga talagang defective na, I can say that's defective constitution. Okay, ang tawag nga nila dun sa constitution ni Cory is a freedom constitution. Ang tatawagin natin sa ating constitution is a constitution for change.
Yeah.
Diba? Kasi yan naman talaga ang platform ni Presidente Duterte nung talagang inelect natin siya is really para sa tunay na pagbabago. And how are we going to effect that change? Yun po. Kailangan po ng revolutionary powers. Kailangan po ng extraordinary powers po ng ating presidente. Huwag po natin siyang gawing inutil. No? So, as I keep on saying, sabi ko nga, the battle between good and evil is inevitable, di ba? Talagang ganyan. Talagang makikita na natin because of yung mga illegal drugs, corruption, di ba? Nakita na natin yan. At talagang pinapakita ni Presidente Duterte na ito ang mga problema natin and he wants to fix the government. So paano niya i-fix, paano niya gagawa ng paraan yan? Tayo po mga tao ang kailangan magbigay sa kanya ng weapon. Di ba? Para if we want to win, sabi nga nila, if we don't take advantage of his leadership, we will never have any more chance of change. And baka may parting words na tayo kay Attorney Tom.
Ako masasabi ko lang, change is always difficult Mahirap talaga lagi. Lalo na tayong mga Pilipino, 'di ba? Mas sanay tayo mahilig tayo sa pamilyar 'Di ba?
Tama.
Yung nakikita natin, yung lagi natin, yung nakakasanayan na natin. Kahit alam nating masama or mali, tinutuloy-tuloy pa rin natin. But again, it takes courage to embrace change And let's not wag tayo matakot na baka magkamali tayo sa mga desisyon natin because nasa atin pa rin yan Si Presidente is, like sinabi niya, instrumento lang siya ng pagbabago Nasa sa atin din yan ang dynamics ng between the governor and the governed, yung namumuno at pinamumunuan, equal yan, symbiotic. 'Di ba? Hindi pwede yung nakaupo ka lang, oo ka lang ng oo kay presidente, o kay mayor, o kay congressman, o kay governor. Dapat nagsasalita ka rin, 'di ba? At saka gumagawa ka ng hakbang para ma-impluwensyahan yung behavior nila. So let's be open about change for once. Or maybe twice. Kasi naboto na si presidente, 'di ba?
Ikaw naman, Rocky.
Ako I just want to part with this na parang ito na yung opportunity natin We have a man we can trust, that we actually trust. Ang happiness rating natin nasa 90% ba, Tom?
I think so, yeah.
Let's say a very conservative estimate, mid-80s, 'di ba? Ganyan kasaya ang tao. We are not in a revolution, so we are not going to use revolutionary government anymore. This is the natural evolution of what needs to happen in our country. We want him to give us a federalism parliamentary government. We want a new constitution that will empower the people and safeguard all of our institutions and all of these esoteric concepts that we want to live with. So we empower him. We give him powers that will enable him to transition us kung nasan tayo ngayon, doon sa gusto nating dalhin niya tayo. Konting lakad lang naman yan in the meantime, since tayo rin naman ang magbibigay ng kapangyarihan sa kanya, we can put as many safeguards, checks and balances as we want into this constitution of change, for change, 'di ba? Yun yung panandaliang constitution na gagana habang sinusulat ang bagong constitution. And here is I keep paraphrasing. Of course, I'm heavily into literature. I paraphrase from Julius Caesar. The line that paraphrase po to kasi wala pong Duterte sa mga libro sa plays ni Shakespeare. Here is a Duterte. When comes such another? Palalampasin po ba natin ang pagkakataon na ito? Na may isang tao na ang puso nasa tamang lugar para ibigay sa atin ang pagbabagong gusto natin.
That's very nice said. Ang sa akin naman, let's do the right thing. inupo po natin si Pangulong Duterte dyan, wag po natin siyang gawing inutil. We have the powers, us, the people, will have the power to give him that extraordinary powers. Wag po tayong matakot kasi kung binigyan po natin ng revolutionary government si Cory, bakit po hindi natin maibigay sa isang Duterte? Yun lang ang sinasabi ko. Kasi nag-iisa lang po ang isang Duterte and I don't know if we're going to have another chance. Yun lang. Maganda po ito pag-usapan po natin, 'di ba? We live in a democracy. So maayos po at napapag-usapan natin ito at but ang sa akin lang, we need it soon. Sooner than soon. Dapat kahapon pa natin na ibigay yan. So ganyan, umiikot po tayo, meron po tayong mga petitions going around and then as was suggested by Attorney Tom, siguro pwede na tayong mag-draft, no? A condition, di ba? Kung just in case na talagang sana man lang, kaya lang ito, tatanggapin daw ba ni Presidente Duterte? And ang sabi ko naman, who doesn't want an absolute power that can change and can better our lives, di ba? So, yun. Magpapasalamat po ako sa Clarence Slimming and Dermatology Center, 2nd floor, Mila Holdings Building, 28 Jupiter Street, Makati. Hi, Dr. Joanne, and also to Apple Style Salon, dyan sa Corinthian Plaza. Maraming salamat. I just want to have a shout out dun sa ating mga friends, si MJ,
Bruce, hi Bruce.
Dre, hello Dre. Francis also. Yeah.
Si Francis, bagising na?
Oo, sabay
ganun?
kami
Sino pa? Baka may mga nakalimutan ako.
Ma'am
Gerard from Spain. Hello. Amy Calao. Also Florence and
I think
si Sir
Amy
Joe
is also
Suliman.
listening right now, and
Oo.
Christine.
Yeah, mga warriors yan. So, maraming salamat and then we'll see you again next, not really see you. Holy Week na pala sa Saturday. Okay?
Off air?
So, yeah, it was so fast. Okay, so, again,
Thank you for having me.
6:30. Oh, thank you, Rocky pala.
Thank you also,
so much.
Ma'am Vivian. Thank you, Rocky. And thank you to everybody who took the time to listen. Hopefully, you learned something. And, you know, something that we can start debating about, di ba? Pag-usapan na natin.
We'll have more of this.
Oo.
Definitely. Well, okay, thank you so much.
Pampagood vibe sa inyong Sabado ng umaga, mga